This is all the Real Madrid news that came out on Saturday. And I'm starting out with this. Real Madrid will play 7 games before the next international break. On the 14th, Real Sociedad away. On the 17th, Stuttgart, the first Champions League game. Then we have Espanyol and Alaves at home. Atletico and Lille away. And then Villarreal at home. And well, before we continue, if you want to stay updated with Real Madrid news, just follow. But let's continue. And well, obviously with all that being said, the next game at the Santiago Bernabeu will be a UCL night. Let's start talking about the game against Real Sociedad. Antonio Rudiger and Jesus Vallejo is expected to be the center back pairing. According to Relevo, Carvajal is also an option. Now talking about center backs, Raul Asensio will be the center back that will cover Real Madrid's recent injuries. And Fede Valverde will now have a few days rest. He returns to work on Tuesday. Why? Well, in case you guys didn't know, Valverde picked up a yellow card against Paraguay, which means he will miss the game against Venezuela, which means that Valverde returns to Madrid, which now means that he will have rest. But anyways, we move on. Jude Bellingham has shortened his recovery time. He could return versus Espanyol on September 21st. Since the moment Jude Bellingham got injured, he has found the positive side of being able to rest and avoid the international break. He looks happy and is combining gym and pool sessions, doing his best to return as soon as possible. And well, with that being said, Jude Bellingham is expected back in training soon. He can be called up for the Real Sociedad match, but obviously he won't play. And also, Fran Garcia has gained more importance for Carlo Ancelotti after starting the season at a high level. And Brahim Diaz has understood his role to date, but he will keep working to turn his situation around. He wants to be important. His goal is to not have the same role he had last season. Performances like his versus Betis help the coaching staff in distributing minutes. And Real Madrid in love with Tchouaméni. There are no plans to sell him despite rumors from England. He's a crucial part of the project for present and future. Zero chance to leave. And David Alba's return on the pitch is expected near the end of 2024. And also, this came out about Jesus Vallejo. Real Madrid offered to pay Jesus Vallejo the remaining money in his contract so that he leaves, but he rejected the idea. He wanted to stay in his final year. There was a scare about Arda Güler a couple days ago. Arda Güler has no injury, it was just a knock. He will stay with the Turkish national team. Now, Real Madrid were concerned about Arda Güler last night, but they are now relieved after the medical test showed that there is no injury. And talking about international break, Kylian Mbappe will likely not start versus Belgium. France will rotate the team, and they did. He didn't start, he was benched. He came on in the second half. And Lunin was benched for Ukraine versus Albania. And Luka Modric will play his 180th game with Croatia tomorrow. Only 7 players have played more international games in history than him. And Laporte was asked about Real Madrid. He said, no, they did not approach me. And there's also outrage at Atletico Madrid over La Liga schedules. They have 48 hours less rest than Real Madrid ahead of the derby. And also, Vini Jr. is involved in the new Kings League promo. And Brazil fans were chanting Bobby Charlton's name towards Endrick. He then laughed and waved at them. And here are some of the things that Carlo Ancelotti said. We're going to have a great season competing in all competitions. And sometimes I ask the players, who are you? And they tell me I'm a player, and I tell them, no, you are a person who plays football. I try to have a personal relationship because that way you can get a better performance from the professional. And they asked, bringing together players like Rodrigo, Mbappe, and Vini Jr. Ancelotti said Real Madrid has very high standards because it's the biggest club in the world. It has the greatest players. You have to be able to bring their quality to the service of the club. That's what we try to do every year. Our new players Mbappe and Endrick are adapting very well. 3 to 4 hours before a match, you always start to sweat. Your heart starts to race, you start to think negatively. It's always the same. That's the loneliness of a coach. We can't share it with anyone. It's something individual, I can't share it. It's not true that I'm always calm because when I get angry, I go quite crazy. And he said this, the horse has 2 ways to jump, either with a whip or with a carrot. Both ways it jumps, you have to choose. If you hit it with a whip, it can pull you from behind. If you give a carrot, it helps you. He talked about Cristiano. Cristiano was and still is a great professional, one of the best of all time, a legend, a great professional, and a reference. He was always a fantastic teammate, highly appreciated by the rest of the players. And he said, I see myself being a manager for a long time. I will continue until the fire I have for football runs out. And well, this is the new Real Madrid Adidas collection. Let me know what you guys think about it. And lastly, Isco has to undergo surgery again and will be out for 3 to 4 months. Get well soon, Isco. And with that being said, let me know what you guys thought about the news.